Hi, I'm Sterling Hart, and this is Dreamlight, where we work with dream interpretation and using the insights in the waking life. Why do I dream of someone who doesn't have feelings for me? This could be someone you were involved with, or someone you were attracted to, but have never been involved with because they weren't interested. I would suggest the person in the dream is a placeholder. They represent a part of you that wants a relationship, or that part of you that has relational feelings. They have a place in your sense of self. If it is someone you were involved with, you need to ask yourself what the person means to you now. Now, it could be that you have feelings of loss or attraction, that you are active in your waking mind, or it could be that you don't. If you have feelings, then the dream is reflecting that. It is quite possible that you are still processing them, and that strong desires and habits of the mind are invested in that person. When there are strong desires, the dream usually is not predictive. It's usually a psychological dream showing your present state. The dream, its other elements such as the plot or context, may show you a way to work with the feelings. Examining the dream can let you look at the things that remind you of them, the triggers. It can also show and deal with the things that bring you into interaction with them. For instance, if they are a coworker, or are overshadowed by them. For instance, if you have friends in common, there can be awkwardness if your friend just reminds you of the other person. After examining things, you can use strategies to avoid reminders. Think through the consequences of your actions. Don't indulge in thinking about them. You can focus your intent on finding someone who reciprocates and shares in your feelings. Often this is a roller coaster of opposing voices. Sometimes people fixate because they are avoiding or denying other problems in their life, and indulging is a way of avoidance. You can also have a dream about someone you don't think about, that isn't in your waking mind much. You are over them. You may be even in another relationship. This would tend to indicate that the person is a placeholder that represents feelings or relationships themselves. You are not returning to them, rather you are returning to some feeling or some aspect of them you experienced or that they represent to you. Let's look at an example. My friend had a series of dreams of a woman that he used to date. In the dream, she would usually be in a group. She would see him and then hide her face. Sometimes he would see just her hair. They had broken up over a year before. He said that he had been infatuated with her, but once he got to know her, he didn't get along. She was the opposite political spectrum and seemed pretty self-absorbed. When he thought about her at all, he would get angry about political things. But examining the dream, he found that he was really looking for someone new. One of the dreams happened after he kept seeing this woman he didn't know. When he left for work, he'd go to lunch in this pedestrian mall, and there he had seen her several times. He was attracted to the unknown woman. He found that looking for someone was in his waking thoughts. The covering the face with a mask struck him as being the lesson he learned with her, that she was pretty and seemed happy but really wasn't. He wanted to approach the next relationship with more of a focus on lightheartedness. The dream seemed to represent that he wanted to find someone, but he couldn't see who it was going to be. Only who he didn't want to see. He started to make a list of qualities that he wanted to find and ones to avoid. It is good to examine what the person used to mean, not because you are returning to them, but you are returning to the feelings that were generated originally. A relationship with someone is a powerful part of life. The sense of attraction, desire, and excitement, the high of a new relationship can be overwhelming. It can make life seem suddenly alive. Possibilities seem to open up. Fear can fall away. A sense of fulfillment can awaken. Even if the relationship doesn't work out, these feelings can still be there. There can be a void from these feelings that remains within us, because these feelings somehow need this other person to be active. Life can seem dull and lifeless. We can feel adrift. The dream symbol can also point to someone being attracted to you, but you have no interest in them. This symbol can extend to other things, like people trying to get you to do things with offers, or you not trying to act on some desire that you have decided against. The person in the dream can represent a lifestyle, a personality characteristic that makes you feel safe, or seeing yourself in some fundamental way, such as being funny or a good person. For instance, we may feel like we are a good person because we help others in need, but the premise is the good depends on someone who needs us. This kind of relational characteristic can appear in dreams. The other person may represent our need to express emotions with another. So if you're dreaming of someone who no longer has feelings for you, yet they represent a part of yourself, a dream of a person who we were attracted to, but it isn't reciprocated, can be a symbol of the strong forces of sexuality, emotional security, identity, our sense of purpose in life, our aspirations for family, all sorts of roles that emerge from within a relationship structure. We may feel that our needs are not being met. Undercurrents of these issues can emerge, for instance, when we don't value the kind of work that we do. There are many social things that come into play, and societies even come up with laws, all sorts of marriage laws, or even laws about taxes in marriage couples. When someone leaves us or awakens this, the emotions and self-meaning don't disappear. It is still within us, but we don't have the external circumstances. You may have feelings for them, and to your own mind, unfinished business, but I would suggest that the unfinished business and feelings are yours and not theirs. It is about you, and they are just the person in the dream that represents this. The root is often the effect the person has on you in terms of how you see yourself. Another aspect is that they may have made a mark on you, for instance, causing a trauma or helping you discover something about yourself. On some level, they are significant. You see something in them, or they brought out something in you, something that they helped you define about yourself. So rather than treat the dream figure as literally them, try to figure out the qualities that they represent to you. Make a list of likes and dislikes, things you want, things you don't, things you want to experience, things you don't want to repeat. This leads to your dream figure as not really a lost one, but rather as an ally in finding the right one. Or the dream figure is an aid to self-knowledge. They liberate you rather than limit you. There can be subliminal connections with people. You can be in communication with people in a subtle way. Most of the time, this deals with lower things in a very direct way if desire and anger appear. Usually that blocks subliminal understanding. But if somebody actually feels that way about you, you can pick up on it in a dream. Or more often, there's a sense of becoming, that the subliminal is showing you the people that share a common ideal or belief, some activity, or will become important to you later on. Someone from your past can appear in subliminal dreams, sometimes as a way of dealing with old issues or moving from some foundational experience. These kind of dreams have a way of revealing themselves because you run into the person unexpectedly. You can also have dreams where the unrequited figure in the dream really represents something that you need to awaken. So there's some part of yourself that's cut off that needs to be brought into the fold or brought into your consciousness and integrated. Most often the clues for this are in the context, the other elements of the dream. If you got something out of this video, please hit the like. If you want more dreams, please subscribe. Till next time.